Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So this is our last session in the Yatra. So it has been a nice time, hopefully. All of you had nice time. So, spiritually enriching time. So, Dham itself is so very potent and powerful, and the Mangalarti, I hope all of you had taken part in the Mangalarti in all these days. So, it's really amazing darshan and very intense environment. The whole environment is spiritually very surcharged, right? So, this is, we are going to take a lot, from the Dham back. So let's have this final session. With this, we will try to conclude the yatra and the lessons that we are going to take from this yatra and the things that we are going to cherish. So I would like to continue with the same lines which I was doing yesterday, and from there we will get to some conclusion. Also, like, I was inspired to come to this conclusion because of few questions that devotees were asking yesterday. In that lines, I would like to explain some things and then we'll conclude. So, here, yesterday we discussed about the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur discussing. So today we will continue on that same chapter of glories of Haridas Thakur. So there is a description of two other important incidents that are described. So one is the incidents of like Haridas Thakur being tested by a prostitute, and then the next is there is a discussion on the glories of the holy name. Hari. So here in this pastime of the prostitute is that Haridas Thakur, he was staying in a village called Benapol, and in this village, there is he was basically not even in the village, in the outskirts, in the forest. He was actually in the forest. He had a small cottage, and then he planted a tulsi plant, and then he was chanting the names of the Lord, in front of the tulsi plant all day and night. He would chant. So now here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in many occasions, this particular point has been highlighted. So worship of Tulsi and chanting in front of Tulsi. So you might have seen that wherever we go in our Bhakti center, in our base, in any place, so while chanting in the morning program, so we keep Tulsi Marani in the center. So it is considered to be very powerful form of worship. In fact, it is something that is going to offer tremendous spiritual progress, for a person. So what are the three Mahabals in in the path of advancement in Krishna consciousness? So like Uchishta means like the remnants by remnants of prasad, which is accepted by a very nice devotee, advanced devotee, and then uchishta, and then the dust of the lotus feet of devotee, and then water that has washed the feet of a devotee. So now when you like do tulsi worship, you get two of them. No, the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee and then the water that has washed the feet of a devotee, right? So tulsi ka pani arpan karta hai, so then after that you take and keep. Like very powerful, actually, very powerful, supremely powerful, actually. And then also like otherwise also. So Tulsi Maharani's primary objective of coming to this material world, first and foremost is to serve the Supreme Lord, and second is that to infuse devotion in the hearts of the in the devotees. So it is very tremendously powerful. That's why the acharyas, they ensure that this Tulsi worship is done. So when Srila Prabhupada formulated the morning program, so morning program is supposed to be a very power-packed program. So all the Panchanga Bhakti is given. What is the Panchanga Bhakti? We had Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan. We'll sing again, so we'll memorize that. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana. Mathura Vasa Srimutira Sadaya Sevana. Mathura Vasa Srimutira Sadaya Sevana. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana. Mathura Vasa Srimutira Sadaya Sevana. Mathura Vasa Srimutira Sadaya Sevana. So this is considered to be the most powerful, of all the angas of bhakti. And amongst them, it is considered that the chanting of the names of the Lord is considered to be like supremely powerful. And this Panchanga Bhakti is considered to be like very powerful elements. And like whatever has been constituted into our daily practice of Krishna consciousness, it's not some random thing. No, it's very systematic and very precise. Very precise. So, in fact, when I was preparing for the, anyway, we'll discuss in the further portion of the discussion. So, it's like in this, if we see like we are performing the Arati of the Lord, or we are participating in the Arati of the Lord, and then we are singing, the Guru Ashtakam, like we are honoring the spiritual master, and we are able to connect with that, and then we are doing Narsimha Arati, then Tulsi Arati, and then like 10 offenses, and then the holy name and Sikshashtakam. So it's like each one of them is like very important and powerful element, and in that the Tulsi worship is considered to be like very prominent and important. So like here we see when we have deities, we have all the other setups, so we can do nice Mangalarti and things like that. But Haridas Thakur's, this one is like really to the point, no distraction at all. So like this is considered to be the Ekanga Bhakti, single, this one taking like Panchanga Bhakti means 5 elements, and Ekanga Bhakti means like only one element, that is chanting of the names of the Lord, and accompanied by taking darshan of Tulsi and serving the Tulsi. So this is like very powerful methodology. And but then like as we know, like No, the more the powerful methodology is like very less people are there to take it, and more simple it is. No, like no people don't do that actually. So no, itna hi hai, like no tulsi and then chanting. That's all, nothing else. So, but then no, Haridas Thakur was really very focused. No wonder he is Namacharya, right? And then for bodily maintenance, no, he used to beg from some brahmana's house, no, whatever he would get, and no, he would just accept it. And he was so spiritually influential that no, all the neighbors, no, all the villagers, no, they would go and no, offer respects to him, and they would in fact worship him. And the local landlord, no, his name was Ramachandra Khan. So he was no, very much envious of no, Haridas Thakur, and no, he was an atheist and he was envious of Vaishnavas, and he could not tolerate that somebody else is getting respect. No, so this is the problem. Like no, when there is somebody else gets respect, somebody else gets some result or something like that. So then it becomes the envy starts burning in the heart. So this is the sign of the like material disease. We have been affected by material disease. Just like somebody asked like do you have any like corona ka time pe chal raha tha, like you have got corona? No, no, I didn't got corona. So then after that, no, the question comes is, no, do you have throat irritation? हाँ थोड़ा सा लग रहा है ना, throat irritation है. And do you have this symptom, that symptom? So then तो अब तो लग गया तुमको. So like that. So we may see that we have to see that this we are affected by this material disease, bhava roga, and then we have to detect it and we have to apply the medicine for it, right? So when we apply the medicine, then we will see that the disease is getting cured. So it is not that incurable. So the spirit soul is pure. Spirit soul is like like very good. So only problem is, who is the problematic person?
Mind.
No, Lord is Sarva Karana Karanam. So Lord is inducing the living entity to do sinful activities. Or living entity is bad. No, he wants to do sinful activity. No, who is the reason behind all this problem? Huh? Propensity to enjoy.
Living
Okay.
entity's desire.
Past sense, मतलब आप प्रॉब्लम को थोड़ा past tense में लेके चले गए. So if you go back, so then what was the problem?
Mind and senses.
Huh?
Mind and senses.
Okay, mind and senses, modes of material nature. Okay, so we will discuss about this in the next section. So we are going to have a detailed discussion on that today. So who is the culprit? So and then so we see that here the zamindar, he became envious of Haridas Thakur, and then like he engaged prostitutes to entice him. And then one of the prostitutes was selected, and then I'll not take too much of time in this pastime. We will see in great detail about our personal application. So that is in connection with the questions that came to me yesterday. So like he engaged prostitutes, and then like one of the prostitutes, she was considered to be the best, and she was sent, and she tried to entice Haridas Thakur with all nice feminine postures and very nice dialogues and everything that is needed for enticing a man. So everything was done. So but then Haridas Thakur, he did not he did not become angry. He did not become very what is that, not like Vishwamitra, who burnt the Apsara, or who became angry and who fell down and things like that and all. So Haridas Thakur was very humble. He was telling that definitely I will fulfill your desire, but then I have a vow to finish my rounds. Three means कुछ तो like बहुत बड़ा number था, unimaginable number. So he wanted to finish that many rounds in a month, monthly target he had. So then so she was waiting, and first day, second day, third day, nothing happened. So then in the third day, like what happens is, because of her constant hearing of chanting of Haridas Thakur for 2-3 days, her heart actually transformed, right? So it is this we cannot try it at home. No, we cannot try it at anywhere because there Haridas Thakur is more powerful than Maya. So no, we are very chutku in front of this one. So when we try, like no, we will ourselves fall. So we are the right pastime for us to meditate is Ajamil. So this is like too much for us. So but then this is a standard that we can actually see the power of the holy name. If somebody happens to surrender to the holy name so nicely, so then he can actually overcome the Maya. Mameve prapadyante Maya me tam tarantite. So there is a nice example. Haridas Thakur is there. So sometimes like people ask like philosophy to bada bada bol rahe, so but practically like काम नहीं करते. So then we have the sample, so like काम किया, like Haridas Thakur का काम किया, and then there are various grades of devotees, and we need to know our level of advancement, and accordingly we should take risks, like without without adhikar, if we take risk, then it will become a problem, right? So we should know our level of advancement, and then accordingly we should take risk. And so Haridas Thakur, he told that I knew from the day one, like she actually begged forgiveness that I came to entice you, but then Haridas Thakur told, like I knew it from the day one, so but then I just stayed back to deliver you, right? So but in our case, if we try to deliver some difficult hard nuts, so then we will ourselves will get lost, so we should see that there is a nice instruction for the devotees, whom should we actually aim to deliver, whom should we actually aim to preach. So balisheshu, so that is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, that ईश्वरे तद अधिदेशु बालिशेषु दुषत्सु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपा अपेक्षा यह करोति स मध्यम. So the madhyama, or like practicing devotee, or a devotee in the path of advancement, he should see that innocent people, he should preach to. He should avoid hard nuts. Hard nuts will be handled by some hardcore devotees. So like when we become hardcore devotees, then we can handle hard nuts. So till then, like we should not. And in fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually sets an example. So when once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was there in Puri, and he was like very nice, was it Gopi Geet? Geet Govind. Very nice Geet Govind was sung by one of the Devdasis, one of the servants of Jagannath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind got captivated by the Gita Govind, not by the girl. So and then he was running towards that direction, and his personal servant, Govinda, he started shouting, Mahaprabhu, stop, stop, stop. Why is he so much anxious to stop Mahaprabhu? He is a sannyasi. If he reaches there, what will happen? No, bigger problem than that. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there in the vicinity of a woman, and if he realizes that he is there in the vicinity of the woman, and he will immediately depart from this world. He will not continue his pastimes. So that is as good as like committing suicide for him, right? So that is how, like, it is very, very serious matter. So then Govinda was trying to call out different this ones, like he was trying to stop Mahaprabhu, he was not able to stop. So but finally he could able to stop by uttering one powerful word. What is that? Huh?
She's widow.
Widow, she's not a widow. Women, she's a woman. तो like नारी का शब्द सुन के लेके वो stop कर दिए. That is how powerful it is. So then Mahaprabhu actually appreciates his servant, that you saved me. Otherwise, if I would have gone there, I would have quit my existence. So for a renunciant, even to touch a doll which is of the shape of a woman, with the toes of his leg, is equivalent to committing suicide. So that is like, very, very strict. This one is, Anyways, so why this is so? Because this is a sum total of all the attractions, The material nature, so like material nature, the material senses are there, and the material senses are designed for sense gratification, and the heights of the sense gratification is association with the opposite sex. No, that's why it has to be handled very, very carefully. So it is just like a current. No, current, no, you cannot just like, no, playfully you cannot handle. No, if you want to use the current, then you have to get a very properly insulated wire and then use it properly. Otherwise, like, you know, भगवान ने जो दिया like रोशनी एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट, उसमें नो कुछ रहो. सो ऐसा वैसा करंट में हाथ नहीं लगा सकते हैं. नो, सो इन दैट वे लाइक वी शुड बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल. सो इफ समबडी enters into the grahastha ashram, no, he should play the game very safe, and if he doesn't want to play the game safe, like, no, you should not play the game at all. या तो play the game safe, नहीं तो खेलो ही मत. जान का खतरा है actually. So it is really very, no, what is that, serious subject matter. So no, Haridas Thakur, no, he initiated the prostitute, and then he told that, no, you sit in front of Tulsi and you start chanting, and then, no, Haridas Thakur went off, not to some other place. So when he went off to some other place, so there, like, what is that village? He went to another village, no, where Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar, no, both of them were there. So they were nice devotees of the Lord, and no, they used to hold satsang programs, no, regularly, and discuss about various, no, spiritual aspects, and no, like they invited, no, Haridas Thakur. So when they understood like Haridas Thakur was there in the town, so then so they sometimes used to glorify Haridas Thakur in their assembly, and then no, when Haridas Thakur glorification comes, no, glorification of holy name also comes. So then one day they thought like, no, why not we invite Haridas Thakur to the assembly, and they invited. And the moment Haridas Thakur came, so everybody started glorifying Haridas Thakur. No, like here is no, a great personality who constantly chants the names of the Lord. No, and he is so much attached to the no, chanting of the names of the Lord. And then gradually the glorification turned towards the glorification of the holy name. And glorification of the holy name, they told that the holy name is so powerful, it can award liberation and it can destroy all the sinful, no, reactions. Correct, na? Huh? Holy name can destroy all the sinful reactions, and it can award liberation also. So, like when this was told, Haridas Thakur immediately stopped. Arey, like, no, itna bura glorification mat karo. Don't do such bad glorification of the holy name. So these are all just byproducts of the chanting of the holy names, and the real product is attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord. No, Krishna Prem. No, that is a real, no, product of, no, real benefit of chanting the names of the Lord. So, and then Haridas Thakur started quoting certain shlokas, no, and I don't, like, I have not taken note of those shlokas. So he quoted certain shlokas, no, from Srimad Bhagavatam, which says that the holy name, no, when it is chanted, like it is just like the sun rising. So when the sun rises, the initial rays of the sun is sufficient to, no, drive away the darkness, no, before even the sun comes on the horizon. So the sun actually drives away the darkness, and then it also drives away the, no, the fog and things like that, and also the fear of thieves, no, rogues and, no, people like that, dacoits and things like that. So these are the initial benefits of the sun. So when the sun rises, like much more benefit is there, no, like that. So in that same way, when the holy name starts manifesting, so what is the initial rays? So what is the subject that we discussed yesterday? Namabhas, no, Namabhas. So Namabhas means without committing offense, no, chanting the names of the Lord. Even if the names are chanted with Ashuddha Varna, no, like even if the names are chanted with improper grammatical this one, or the letters being split, no, and things like that, still the holy name actually is powerful, it will act. But then if offenses are committed, then the holy name will cease to act, right? So this non-offensive, no, chanting of the names of the Lord is very, very powerful. No, they can, no, that Namabhas can give this liberation and what is that, destroying of sinful reactions and things like that. So that's how powerful is the Namabhas. And the Shuddha Nam, the holy name, so in its pure form, so it is like really very powerful. It can actually give so much of ecstasy to the devotee, and it can actually clarify his relationship with the Supreme Lord. So much wonderful benefits actually happens. So this was discussed, and one person over there, like he was a logician, Gopal Chakravarti, and he was very young, handsome, and very learned and things like that. So, but then he could not able to tolerate this statement. Arey, like people are struggling so hard for getting liberation. Like they spend lifetimes after lifetimes, hundreds of lifetimes, and then they get liberation, and you are telling that just byproduct of chanting. No, ye kaisa, like what is the kind of this one that you are talking about? No, like everybody has assembled here to hear some sentimental devotee. Bhavuk ko sunne ke liye baitha hai sab log. So like I curse you that whatever you told is wrong. So then you will get leprosy, or I'll cut off your nose. Like that he mentions. So then Haridas Thakur tells that why do you take so much trouble? If it is wrong, I myself will cut off my nose. Don't worry. And then by the time this kind of discussion happens, like all others, they started getting alarmed. Kya chal raha hai idhar? Like it is becoming like very very what is that, offensive. The whole environment has become very offensive, and they started begging forgiveness and things like that. So why is it so important? Now here Gopal Chakravarti, he committed a mistake. Why should others come and beg forgiveness?
You were hearing the
They were hearing blasphemy, right? So like one portion I didn't cover. So Ramchandra Khan, who engaged the prostitute, so like to what is that, to pollute Haridas Thakur. So later on, because he had such envious attitude towards Haridas Thakur, whole his what is that, whole his property and everything became like completely ruined. And then some Muslim rulers had come, and then they had cooked meat in his home, and then completely desecrated his home and things like that. So, and later on Nityananda Prabhu also actually after that, the next is Nityananda Prabhu. He comes to the village, and this Ramchandra Khan, he doesn't want to give hospitality to him. So then it becomes super offense. So like one offense leading to super offense, and then finally he was completely ruined actually. So it is very important in an assembly, if there is an offense that happens, it is not that a person who commits the offense, only he is affected. Even all the other people who are there, so they will also get affected. So then, that's the reason, like all the devotees, they actually went and begged forgiveness from Haridas Thakur. So then, like Haridas Thakur told, like, this person is a murk, like fool, and he doesn't know like what is this one of glories of the holy name. So, but you people don't take so much of tension, so you people go home so peacefully. So then, like within few days, this person got leprosy, Gopal Chakravarti, and then his nice nose got melted off, and his toes, all of them started melting off and things like that. So then when Haridas Thakur got this news, he was very sad that this person has got such kind of a result. Immediately he left the place and went off. So we can see that a devotee, he is not thinking that somebody has insulted me and things like that. So that is something like which is not there in the devotees system, that if somebody is harboring that some insult has happened to me and things like that, so that means that is also another sign of the bhavaroga, that is there. So we need to work upon, when will I give up all these things, and then when will I exclusively focus on the Supreme Lord, so when will that day come? So we should have that intense eagerness to actually focus on the Supreme Lord. So now we saw that how Haridas Thakur could able to handle this particular occasion very effectively. When allurements, the material allurements came, and then insults came and things like that. So at any cost, he was not sparing his time for anything else apart from focusing on the holy name. He could have dealt with the women in a different way. So then he would have got diverted, and whole of his life would have become what is that what is that, the story that comes like where Guru gives Bhagavad Gita to a disciple, day like some rat came and ate a little bit of that Bhagavad Gita. So then he thought that no, you should buy a cat and keep it, no? And then so then he buys a cat. So then after that the cat requires milk, no? Cat is asking him to feed. So then he gets a cow, and to manage the cow he gets married. And then so like no, Gita ke liye sansar hai na? So something like that. Then after some time family Gita, something like that. The topic of the story is, and then no, to manage the wife. No, once the wife comes inside, so the woman's name in the Sanskrit is Stri. Stri means to vistar. No, vistarit, jo vistarit karti hai, uska naam Stri hai. So like no, the moment she comes into the home, so immediately the home increases. No, home becomes like bigger and bigger and bigger. The possessions become bigger and things like that. So and that is why a person is before entering the Grahastha ashram, a devotee is like advised that he should plan for his retirement. It is mentioned, like one of the senior devotees told me. So Grahastha ashram is an agreement to quit after 25 years. Not that it's a permanent agreement, lifelong agreement. No, it is an agreement for quitting after 25 years. गिन के निकल जाना चाहिए. उसके पहले निकल गया तो अच्छा है. So it is like a very this one very important, this one. And वो घर बनाया and things like that. Then after some time, his spiritual master, like after going for all Tirtha Yatras, he came back and he saw like, अरे हमारा आश्रम गायब हो गया, like मेरा disciple किधर है, आश्रम किधर है. So then so the disciple comes and says like, Guru Maharaj, हमारा आश्रम बड़ा हो गया. so like मैंने तो तुमको simple जीवन जीने के लिए बोला, ऐसा कैसा बड़ा हो गया. तो फिर पूरा story बोलते हैं. So in the spiritual life, we may have to tolerate certain things. We may have to tolerate certain things. Like based on the ashram that we take. Brahmacharya ashram means the tolerance level has to be more higher. So Grahastha ashram means okay, fine. Like little bit comfort ले लो, but then बहुत ज़्यादा comfort नहीं है. We should always be, there should be a minimum quantity of devotional service that should be there. So if that minimum quantity of devotional service is lost, so then it is apranasya dehasya mandanam lokaranjanam. So then it becomes a dead body. The whole life or the whole system that we are living, everything becomes dead, without the intense practice of Krishna consciousness. So at least a minimum quantity should be there. And those devotees who wants to practice like little more intense, they can, and if they have the sufficient mind frame and nature and things that actually cooperates with them, so then they can opt for a little more serious practice. But then it is very essential that some like good quantity of serious practice must be there in as a component in our life, right? So without that, it's quite difficult for making advancement. So anyways, like here, the yesterday, some questions came in this particular direction that we want to make advancement and we want to do the right things, in our Krishna conscious life, but then as if driven by force, we are pulled for doing some material activities, or things that we know like it is not good, we are pulled to do that particular activity. So in this connection, I was just analyzing Haridas Thakur's example is a very lofty example. So chant karke kuch bhi kar lo and things like that. So jo kuch bhi karna hai karo, like chant karo, like chanting is so powerful, it can deliver you. Yes, chanting is very powerful, but then the problem is, we are committing offenses and we are not very much attached to the chanting, and then still there are certain shortcomings in our side to take complete shelter of the holy name of the Lord, right? So if we utterly depend on the holy name of the Lord and take complete shelter of the holy name of the Lord, the game is finished. But it is very difficult to do that. So one of the reason is that it is not a self-manufactured thing. This kind of intense attachment and shelter of the names of the Lord only be got from a person who has it, and there must be a nice transaction that happens between. So we serve and please the devotee, and then the devotee actually awards it to us, like that is the transaction by which we'll generally get it. So that is why we serve Srila Prabhupada, whatever Prabhupada has told, like book distribution and preaching and various things we are trying to do, and sometimes we do all these things mechanically, but we don't pray for what we want. So that is another problem. Mechanically, like the seva chal raha hai, but then the prayer is not there. and no, we need to have the like right goal in the mind, and we need to serve the right person who can actually award us that intense desire to practice Krishna consciousness, and we need to also like advanced devotees, we will get affected by their intense practice of Krishna consciousness. So these are all various things are there. So but then for the practical aspects, we need to also see that how to actually. So I was thinking about a particular section in Bhagavad Gita, so which we have covered in some of our FOE levels also. So but then we can try to take that, try to analyze that in a little more deeper way. So this question that Arjuna asks in Bhagavad Gita, 336, he says that Atakena prayaktoyam papam charati purusha anichanapi varshnaya baladiva niyojita. So like, even though I don't want to do a certain thing, I know that it is wrong, but still as if, pulled by force, I have been engaged in that. So then, what's the answer of Krishna? The first answer is like, Kamayesha Krodayesha Rajoguna Samadbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyanam Vairinam. Right? So Vairinam means enemy, and Vidyanam means like an intelligent person. Even for an intelligent person, even for a person who is on the path of self-realization, this Kama is a very, very powerful enemy. So now let's revisit the question that we had. Who is the culprit? Living entity is the culprit or Lord is the culprit? For us doing the sinful activities. Living entity is the culprit. Okay. भगवान के ऊपर तो कोई आरोप नहीं करना चाहिए. भगवान तो शुद्ध आत्मा है, वो किसी को गलत रास्ते पे नहीं चलाते है ना. So, हाँ? Misuse of free will is the first point. So when we misuse the free will, so what happens? So when we are there in the spiritual world, we have something called love of Godhead. So that is the basic quality of everyone who is there in the spiritual world. So prema is the basic quality of everyone who is there in the spiritual world. And then when the misuse of independence happens in the form of, rather than gratifying the senses of the Lord, so I want to gratify my senses. This is the basic misuse of independence. And when I do that, so if I want to gratify the senses of the Lord, so then the love of Godhead or the spiritual environment, the internal potency of the Lord will facilitate the whole thing, right? So but if I want to gratify my senses, internal potency of the Lord doesn't have a formula to gratify our senses. It is designed for gratifying Krishna's senses, right? So now when this happens, there is another entity that is there we have to take shelter of. Who is that entity? Trigunatmiki Maya, right? So the Maya, which is like has the three three gunas. So we have to take shelter of her. So then Lord says, okay, fine. If you want to gratify your senses, you need to be under this entity. So Lord has two entities, under which we can take shelter of. One is the internal potency of the Lord. If you take shelter of, she will facilitate the service of the Lord and everything, and you will also be happy. But then when we take a choice of gratifying our senses, so then the option that is available is we have to take shelter of the three modes of nature. That's one thing. It's like a danger spot. If you touch that, so then what happens? Then you have to, all the parts and parcels of that comes. It is like somebody may say like, I'm attached to having sex. So fine, like you can enter into Grahasthashram, but then it has so many other packages that are there, and we cannot treat this whole equation like a prostitute. Like I'll just go only gratify my senses and that's it. So no, it is not like that. We need to take the package as a whole. We already taken a package. That package is this material world. So like material world, I'll just gratify my senses and it's so nice. I'll gratify my senses. With that so many other packages come, right? So that packages have to be accepted, right? So that is how the thing is. And the package is the three modes of nature, and the moment we come in contact with that, immediately we will get affected either by the mode of goodness or by the passion or by the ignorance. And when we get affected by them, then we act according to them, right? So the living entity here is almost helpless. It's just like if you come in contact with a person who is having viral disease, no viral fever, no, you come in contact, उतना ही आपका गलती है. उसके बाद क्या होता है? फीवर होता है, नो काशी होता है, एंड टेम्परेचर बढ़ता है, नो एपेटाइट जाता है, नो ऑल दिस थिंग्स इज जस्ट सिम्टम, नो. तो वो उनका गलती नहीं है, वो सिम्टम है. नो गलती क्या था? नो ही वेंट एंड गॉट इन टच विथ the infected area, right? So that is a galti, no. And now we need to understand, like, if we know the root cause of the problem, root cause of our material existence, so then automatically, like, no, we can work on the solution. The solution becomes easier, right? So this coming in contact with the modes of material nature, so immediately, no, we become contaminated, no, we become affected by the disease. No, Srila Prabhupada often, no, quotes this example of this, no, infected area. So you, if a person gets into infected area, so he gets infected. So then after that, no, he is infected. So now he has to take a, like, what is that? He has to take medicine to get cured of it, right? So some of the things which Srila Prabhupada mentions in this purport, amazing purport. So he says that the pure soul's love of Godhead becomes transformed into lust, no, when comes in contact with material mode of passion, no, and it transforms into vrat. No, vrat is like the mode of ignorance, and then that brings in the concept of illusion, and the illusion sustains our existence in the material world, right? So now the right equation is that, you know, if the passion is engaged in spiritual activities, so then from passion we can actually go to goodness. But if the passion is engaged in satisfying the senses, from passion we'll go to ignorance. No, this is the equation that Srila Prabhupada actually mentions in that purport. And how does this happen? Due to independence, the service attitude is there. It is transformed into propensity to enjoy, and that, no, propensity to enjoy, no, takes the form of lust. No, and this lust, no, somebody may say, like, no, Prabhuji, this is the most difficult thing in the life. No, lust is like, no, why not, no, this be a little easier game, no? So, like in one lecture I was hearing that lust is strong, no, the propensity of lust is so strong, no, this actually should give a lot of joy to the devotee. No, why it should give a lot of joy to the devotee? Because this is the mirror image of the love of Godhead. If this is so strong, no, equal and opposite direction is the love of Godhead. Once we get it, no, it is so amazing. No, we will, no, it is a good news that, no, like, love of Godhead is a very strong propensity. No, it is not a weak propensity. If lust were to be any weaker, so that means the love of Godhead also will be weaker. No, it's natural, no, counterpart. No, so it is good news that lust is strong. No? So एक बार जीत लिया तो, like, no, खत्म हो गया game. No? So okay. So, like, the lust and wrath is rightly engaged. When the lust and wrath is rightly engaged, so the lust is engaged. No, it is nicely, no, bhajan is there. Kama Krishna Karmarpane Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. No, so these two are very essential sadhanas. Sometimes, no, we may think that why Prabhupada is so heavy. No, sometimes he is so heavily arguing, no, against people, and then, no, like, he accuses people saying, no, these are rascals and this and that and things like that. This is sadhana. No, this is an essential sadhana. Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Janai. No, like, if you don't use your anger upon the Bhakta Dveshi Jana, so then that will come inside. No, that is a propensity that is there. No, Kama and Krodha are the eternal enemies of the living entity, and they have to be rightfully directed towards the, no, to, no, in such a way that, like, no, we will get benefit in Krishna consciousness, right? So Kama, the desire should be engaged in, no, let's have, no, 1,000 boys in the next Yatra, no, something like that. No. Maybe one of the future Yatras. So, like, this is a very good desire, no? So we can work hard for that, you know. So, like, Kama Krishna Karma Arpane and Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. So, like, you know, whoever is, no, meat eaters and illicit sex mongers and, like, you know, people who are envious of the Lord and things like that, we can have, we can release YouTube videos. No, this guy is a rascal. And things like that. Or even, no, straight away, like, no, if you have more capacity, you can actually engage in, no, arguments with them and things like that. So this is sadhana. Of course, like, we should take it up according to our adhikar, according to our advancement in Krishna consciousness. So, but criticism of material nature and appreciation of Krishna consciousness. Both of them are very essential aspects of Krishna consciousness. So in this way we can see that Prabhupada, whatever he was doing is not just, sometimes one person actually took a book from me long back, and then he told that, why your Acharya is like, speaking so heavily. No, so he's a devotee, right? Like, no, he should be little peaceful, shant, and things like that. And like, no, you cannot define who devotee is. No, so devotee means like this. No, Kama Krishna, like Kama Krishna Karma Arpane and Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Janin. Like that is devotee. No, not that what you think of, like, some Mauni Baba, like, sitting sitting peacefully and things like that. So that that is not the devotee, right? So these two are our eternal enemies, and they have to be rightfully engaged, in the right place. So Prabhupada gives a very wonderful, light into it. So when I was preparing yesterday about this topic, I was like, what is it? It was so nourishing. Seeing that Srila Prabhupada is to the point, and Srila Prabhupada, whatever he did is perfectly according to the scriptures, and we can actually appreciate this one. So we should not go by what is that, people saying like, why your Acharya is so strong, heavy, and things like that and all. So it has to be like that. So that's how this Krishna consciousness sadhana is, right? So then so the next shloka, Krishna mentions 338. So he tells that three kinds of coverings, 3 degrees of coverings of this lust actually happens on top of the living entity. And this is like smoke covering the fire, and then the dust covering the mirror, and then the child in the womb. So these 3 levels of covering that he mentions. And Srila Prabhupada mentions that if we somehow or other handle this covering of lust in such a way, treat the covering of lust in such a way that fire which is there inside, that can be set ablaze. And this is possible by proper training, under proper guidance, under proper able guidance. So then a person can conquer the lust. In this aspect, in the recent discussions with our superiors, like one nice aspect actually was brought about. The sadhana is a predictable process. And Krishna is a dependable person, sadhana is a predictable process. So we can actually keep trust on this process, like whatever process that Srila Prabhupada has given, so we can actually keep trust on this process. It is not that I will do, but then still like, it is not guaranteed, that I will get the result and things like that. So we can give up all those kind of doubts and apprehensions. So the process is very strong and the process works. So that's like very important thing that Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. So if we have the proper training under able guidance, so we can conquer over the lust. That is that's the good news, right? So then the next this one that Krishna mentions is, this lust is never satisfied. If somebody thinks, okay, I have lust, I will satisfy this lust, and after the lust is satisfied, I will do Krishna consciousness. What else to do? I'll nicely do devotional service. No, that equation will not work, because it is just like a burning fire, and any amount of fuel put inside the fire, it will just simply consume, and it will actually increase in size, and it will actually demand more fuel, right? So in this connection, Srila Prabhupada actually mentions that this material world is the center of all the material activities is the sexual intercourse. And in fact, Srila Prabhupada uses a word called Maithuna Agara. Maithuna Agar means a jail, which is not bound by, a prisoner is not bound by the shackles of iron, but it is, he is bound by the shackles of sex life. Sex life means not just engaging with opposite sex. Sex life is like even relishing something while eating. Sex life means like enjoyment and gratifying the senses, and the pinnacle of that sex life is the association with the opposite sex, and that is like very, very strong bondage. So that is why it is mentioned that it is just like a current, and current, either you don't touch, or if you touch, use that current with a very nicely insulated wire. Dharmic grahastha life, or no grahastha life, or no association with women. So that should be the standard, right? So then it will be possible, right? So now sense gratification means increasing the duration of material life, and Prabhupada actually puts one nice statement. While one enjoys sense gratification, it may be that there is some feeling of happiness. But actually, that so-called feeling of happiness is the ultimate enemy of the sense enjoyer. So that little titillation that comes, that's the ultimate enemy, because that's going to keep him, inside. Just like if honeybee, is going and sitting on a nice flower, and drinking the honey, and then the flower is like, in the end of the day, the flower is actually closing. It's actually able to sense that I'm going to get trapped, but then there is honey. How can he leave? So then he gets trapped and he gets killed, right? So that's how it is. So when this sense gratification, when it is accepted on a dharmic way, it actually enables a living entity to get detached over a period of time. So, but if sense gratification is completely given up and Krishna consciousness is taken, so then that is also beneficial. But if at all sense gratification has to be accepted, then it has to be accepted on the dharmic terms. So then in the next shloka, Krishna is actually mentioning about the sitting places of this enemy. So he tells that, okay, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity, and if I have to attack this enemy, so then I need to know the strategic places where this lust actually sits. So he says that senses, mind and intelligence, these are the places which this enemy actually sits. And Srila Prabhupada actually makes a nice commentary on this. The enemy has captured different strategic positions in the body of the conditioned soul, and therefore Lord Krishna is giving hints of those places, so that one who wants to conquer the enemy may know where he can be found. So this is like very great mercy of the Lord, where we can actually find this enemy. And then once finding the enemy, what we should do? So then Krishna is mentioning, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin called lust by regulating the senses, and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. So like the sense control and regulation of the senses is the key path for advancement in Krishna consciousness. So no wonder that any of the yoga systems that you take, be it karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, whatever may be the yoga systems, invariably one thing that is there is sense control. That must be done. So there is no yoga system like, I want such an yoga system. Like when like Prabhupada's God brothers, when they went to London, so there is some big band, like Prabhupada often tells his name. What is his name? He asked, I want to become a Brahmana. Can you make me a Brahmana? So then Prabhupada's God brothers, they told, you can become a Brahmana. You just have to give up these 4 things: illicit sex, meat eating, gambling and intoxication. And he was supposed to say, ek bhi nahi chhod sakte. How can you become a Brahmana? Then they came back and reported, hopeless case. Koi bhi Brahman nahi ban sakta idhar. Koi bhi bhakt nahi ban sakta idhar. So that is how the this one is like, it is, sense control is a very, very mandatory thing, for the practice of Krishna consciousness. And either in one of the ashrams we have to accept, Grahastha ashram or Brahmacharya ashram, and we have to regulate, very seriously practice this sense control. Otherwise it is not possible. Here it is mentioned, when the sense gratification happens, what happens is, like, it actually gives vent for the lust to act. Then the lust actually binds the living entity more strongly, and it becomes difficult for a person to come out. And it is mentioned that this lust is the greatest enemy. It is also, some adjectives are given. It is considered to be the destroyer of knowledge. Knowledge means to understand about the soul and the super soul and the body and things like that. So matter and things like that. So the moment sense gratification is done, even though theoretically we know everything, practically we forget everything. So that is how the nature of the sense gratification is, right? So, and Srila Prabhupada gives a nice commentary on that. Lust is only the perverted reflection of law of Godhead, which is natural for every living entity. कोई बोल रहा है मुझे भगवान का प्रति प्रीति नहीं है और लस्ट भी नहीं है, तो बकवास कर रहे हैं. So law of Godhead is a natural, this one, Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti, Sadhya Kabunai. The law of Godhead is a natural thing that is existing in the living entity. Just like a living entity in this world means, like, a natural thing is like, he breathes. That's a natural thing. In the same way, law of Godhead is a part and parcel of every living entity. So, and if somebody says, I don't have attraction to the Lord and I don't have attraction to women. No, ये तो हो ही नहीं सकते. So that means you are matter, you are not spirit. Huh? Shunyavad. So that is a very artificial platform. Nobody can maintain that platform. No, that is why it is mentioned. Inyay Ravindaksha Vimukta Manina Svayasta Bhava Davishuddha Buddha. So he cannot maintain that platform. No, so he is like, no, the love of Godhead is there, usko bhi suppress kiya, like, you know, and then attraction to the material nature is there, usko bhi suppress kiya, like, no, bomb kidhar na gira to phutega na, itna pressure kaisa jhalega? No, it is very difficult, you know. So, and that way, like, we see that, no, either one of these two things is very much necessary. So, that way, like, sadhakas feeling lusty, no, it is accommodated, no, it is there, but then it has to be treated. No, it cannot be like left just like that. No, if it is left just like that, then no, lifetime after lifetime we will have to struggle on this particular aspect. And then no, Krishna actually gives the hierarchy, like how this hierarchy actually works. The inert body is there, and more powerful than that is the senses. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, the lust is stored in the body, but then it gets the vent through the senses, no? And mind is a controller of these senses, and intelligence is even more higher, and soul is even more higher, right? So when we engage in Krishna consciousness on the platform of the soul, no, and engaging the senses, mind and things like that, so then it actually circumvents the whole problem, and it actually like makes a short circuit in the in the equation of the lust, and lust cannot act, so in that way it actually happens. So here Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, if therefore the mind is directly engaged in service of the Lord constantly, then there is no chance that the senses will become engaged in other ways. The mental attitude has already been explained, Pam Drishya Nivartate. And another portion, he writes, a neophyte spiritualist is generally advised to keep aloof from the objects of the senses. Now this is very essential. It is not that, like just do Krishna consciousness and you can be in contact with the sense objects. No, like a neophyte spiritualist is advised to keep aloof from the sense objects. But aside from that, one has to strengthen the mind by the use of intelligence. But even though the soul is the master of the intelligence and mind, and the senses also, still, unless it is strengthened by the association with Krishna, in Krishna consciousness, there is every chance of falling down due to agitated mind. So that is why it is very essential to take association of Krishna. How do we take association of Krishna? So in the form of sound vibration, the holy name, legibly chanting, and without offenses. So then we can manifest the presence of Krishna. So then we take association of Krishna. So in the same way, non-offensive way, like we study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and then the Shravanam and Kirtanam. So through this way, or by deity worship, and the prayers and things like that. So we can actually, we can get the association of Krishna by service. It is very important. The association of Krishna. Like Krishna is master, we are servant. And connection means what? Association means what? ऐसा नहीं कि like I am associated with this company. तो आपका position क्या है? नहीं, मैं ऐसे जाके घूम के आता हूँ कंपनी के अंदर. मतलब तुम्हारा कुछ लेने देने नहीं है वो कंपनी में, है ना? So like तुमको जॉब ही नहीं लगा, है ना? ऐसे जाके घूम के आ रहा है ना? So like that. So then that is not this one. So like association means service. Service means what? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasenam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So that is service. Through any one of this channel, we should be connected to Krishna. So that is when we will get the association of Krishna, and then we will get transformed. And then finally Krishna mentions, thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Right? So, like how easy it is to just take association of Krishna and be happy. Right? It's very easy, right? Huh?
Simple but not.
Simple, not easy. So, like, that is why Srila Prabhupada mentions that why did he create ISKCON? Why did he create ISKCON? In this connection, many things that Prabhupada says, why did he create ISKCON? But then in this connection?
Association.
to create association, no, for devotees. So in association, it becomes very easy, no, to perform. So sometimes, like there is a nice conversation of Srila Prabhupada was there. So that time, like when during Prabhupada's time, like there was a big question that was there. Some devotees started practicing Krishna consciousness outside temple, and it was a big problem. All devotees like no were approaching Prabhupada. Prabhupada, people are practicing Krishna consciousness outside temple. How is it possible? You know, कि वो हो ही नहीं सकता है तो temple का बाहर रह रहा है and then he is practicing Krishna consciousness. How is it possible? So then Prabhupada was like, no, yeah, it is impossible. So, and during Prabhupada's time, if somebody is telling devotee, means he is one who is residing inside temple. He is devotee. Outside people are like, no, they are practicing something. No, they are called as congregation and rest. Devotee means somebody who is residing inside the temple. So, so that was the terminology that was used that time. So now devotee is used little more freely. No, everybody is called as devotee. So, and somebody who is chanting 2 rounds, 4 rounds is also called a devotee. No, terminology has gone through some historical change. So, but then devotees at the time were astonished. Somebody practicing Krishna consciousness outside. No, कैसा हो सकता है? Like, no, हो ही नहीं सकता है. So then Prabhupada is convincing them, no, like, grihe tako, vane tako, sada hari bole tako. So like you stay at home or you stay at no temple, like wherever it is, no, sada hari, like all the time chant. No, then it is okay and things like that. So then they were asking like, Prabhupada, like, no, this is a compromise. No, like how can they practice Krishna consciousness? So you have to, if we intensely practice Krishna consciousness throughout the day, like then there is chance of going back to Godhead. In that also you tell if the mood is not right and if the attitude is not right, like no, then you will not get benefit. So ये तो like थोड़ा time like माला घुमाता है, like उसके बाद जो कुछ करना है करता है, like, and how will they actually advance in Krishna consciousness? So then Prabhupada was telling, see, like you can do business anywhere. But then if you are there in the stock exchange, no, there is, if you want to sell, immediately there is buyer. And if you want to buy, immediately there is seller. So the business becomes so easy and the quantum of business becomes so nice. No, so like what is it? No, you can actually increase the this one, no, profitability and things like that. No, like you can increase the profit to a great extent. So an intelligent person will stay. No, in this one, and if not possible, so then you can do business, but do business, no. So don't stop the business, no, do business. And then Prabhupada told, like many people will, no, stay like this in the future, no, like that. So at least, no, we should see that, no, like the best of the people, like best of the opportunities is that, no, we can stay in a environment where nicely practice Krishna consciousness, and then like that is in the temple. And then if we cannot stay in the temple, at least we should stay in the base. No, if we cannot stay in the base, at least we should attend Mangalarti in the center and take prasadam in the center. So like at least this much to karna chahiye. No, so it is, if you see, what is the benefit that we get? No, why do we actually advocate this particular thing? No, it is not that we are going to get some benefit out of it. In fact, it is a great trouble. No, like we see that to maintain serving prasadam for so many people. No, so we have to struggle so hard to maintain the staff and we need to maintain so many things. Like if this is not there, like आप लोग जैसा प्रसाद खाना है like खा लीजिए, like छोड़ देंगे. So it is so much liberating actually. So but then why do we take so much of trouble? And then maintaining base is also it is not an easy thing. Every base that comes, like every person that comes increases the complexity of of the manager. So like why do we have to take so much trouble just to create an environment where we can become Krishna conscious? Srila Prabhupada is mentioning and our superiors are mentioning that you should do some service. हम like आपको भक्त बनाया, आप किसी और को भक्त बनाओ. That is the price that they want from us. So we are taking this austerity of trying to preach and trying to create environments where we can actually practice Krishna consciousness. So we should take this very seriously, and we should wherever we are, we should try to see that like we are there in such intense practice or intense environment where we can practice Krishna consciousness. So in the gradation, whichever suits our particular nature and profile and things like that, so we should move on into that. So don't torture yourself also too much, no. किधर ना किधर like अच्छे से fit होंगे, you know. So like please be there in a place like where you'll nicely get fitted in. No, but then one thing that we will request is that please take up Krishna consciousness seriously. No, if we keep on giving vent to this lust, then we will just stay back here in this material world. So we have to take medicine, we have to treat it, and we have to go back to Godhead. No, that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, and that's why all the great acharyas come, and that's why Srila Prabhupada comes. So just to save us, and they have taken so much trouble, to give us this Krishna consciousness, and let's also take a little trouble to make ourselves happy, by practicing Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So any questions or comments you can take?
What is the one you are telling, like passion if it is engaged in ignorance? So like passion if it is engaged for service of senses?
Passion when it is engaged in service of the senses, so it tends to ignorance.
The word you use,
Breath means anger and things like that. So it transforms. When the component of lust becomes too much, so then it tends towards mode of ignorance.
Prabhuji, we saw the story of two great offenders. So what generally happens to...
Hey, another mic is not there.
Hare Krishna, bro. We saw the story of Haridas Thakur. There we saw two great offences. So what ultimately happens to the people who commit such big offences?
They'll have to go through a very tough trial, and then Krishna actually rescues them back after some time. Krishna never leaves the living entity. He is always there. But they have to take the punishment. But if they have the good intelligence to come back and beg forgiveness from this one, and if the person is forgiven, and if the offense is not even Krishna also forgives, so then it is safe. Like in the case of Kauravas, the Pandavas forgave, but then Krishna told, you can forgive but I cannot. So then he actually went behind them and finished them off and things like that. And so in this way we can see that the offenses are quite serious. So but if repentance is there, and then in the case of Kauravas, there was no repentance, so then it is quite difficult. But if repentance is there and if they take shelter, so then they will always be forgiven, like that.
What happened to the two offenders? Is there any mention?
Yeah, so both of them met with death, like that. So that's the immediate thing. So rest of it philosophically we know. So they have to go through a very difficult patch. Yes, behind.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In base we are staying, so sometimes it happens like devotees become friends and of same in general. Sometimes seniors also in age wherever. So in मजाक में मतलब
Offense हो जाता है. So this long back, once Radheshambhu had visited our Jagannath Mandir. That time we were in base, and one of us only I think asked this question. So then Prabhuji actually mentioned this one. So it is offenses in amongst this we can basically consider ourselves as neophyte devotees. So offenses amongst neophyte devotees is Krishna's program. He takes unpolished gems and put them all in one dabba, and he shakes nicely, and each of them they rub against each other like anything, and they come out polished gems. so like that. So no, this is not a license to commit offense, no. But हमारा offense भी इतना serious नहीं होता है, और हमारा जिस devotees के बीच में हम offense कर रहे हैं वो भी इतना advanced नहीं होता है. ठीक है, थोड़ा चलता है. No, but then this is a training ground, है ना. So we have to see that other devotee is a exalted devotee, and we should treat it like that. So then we will make this one, make advancement. So good news is that like no, itna ज़्यादा पतन नहीं होगा. And like, but then we have to be serious about the offenses, you know. So when we commit offenses to very very advanced devotees, so then it takes very serious, you know, repercussions actually come. So definitely like none of the devotees who are staying in the base are envious amongst other devotees. No, envious to that core that ki like no isko पूरा कतल ही करना है अभी, no, so like that. So इतना तो कोई नहीं होंगे, like no थोड़ा बहुत envy हो गया, like no ये 2 गुलाब जामुन extra खा लिया and things like that. And no, कोई envy ऐसा नहीं होता कि like ये 2 माला extra कर लिया, like no, so उसमें कोई envy नहीं होता. You know, ये तो ज़्यादा पढ़ लिया and things like that. तो sense gratification पे ही envy होता है ना, तो ठीक है. So in that way, like, but then we should be cautious. Now, if that tendency is there, and if that tendency comes in front of, you know, in the exposure of some like no advanced devotees, so then it becomes a problem. Like that. Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had 2 questions. One is like related to his question. So sometimes like we see the example of Dhruv Maharaj. So when he was not a devotee, so his stepmother committed an offense. So like we also sometimes if we commit some offense towards a non-devotee and or a nearby devotee and when he becomes like non-devotee. So how is that? How will that affect us when we will advance or in that stage?
Yeah, so that's why we should a standard practice of a devotee is to like few important standard practices of a devotee is that he begs forgiveness from the Lord and any unknown mistakes that he would have did and things like that. So this mood of begging for forgiveness is a very important this one. Like sometimes we come in the mode of justification. मैंने जो किया सही किया, like उस time पे वो devotee नहीं था and things like that. We can give a lot of justification, but the justification only weaken our position. So even if it doesn't comes to the this one of offense, it just weakens our devotional spirit. So better is that like anywhere we understand that we would have committed a mistake, and even we don't understand certain mistakes we would have committed, so still like anticipating it and then begging for forgiveness for that from the Lord. If the devotee is known to us, then we can actually do that from him. Otherwise, like we can just simply take shelter of the holy name and the Supreme Lord. So then they will facilitate, the Lord will facilitate. So one good instance which I always remember in this connection is that if we utterly take shelter of the Supreme Lord, the Lord ensures everything goes on nicely. So in the case of Prithu Maharaj, Indra became envious, and Prithu Maharaj is a very advanced devotee, and Satyavesh avatar, and Indra became envious. So because both of them were devotees, it is not that Lord was seeing, again Lord's personality clarified, some sambandha getting clarified. The Lord is not looking for when will you commit the next mistake and I will beat you. The Lord is not looking for like that. The Lord is actually looking for the welfare of living entity. So instead of punishing Indra, like the Lord came down and then he brought both these devotees together. देखो like he is getting perturbed by you doing 100 Ashwamedha yajnas. छोड़ दो ना एक, ये devotee थोड़ा peaceful रहेगा. So and he didn't tell that कि like you deserve to perform 100 Ashwamedha yajnas, you continue to do it. He didn't tell that. This devotee is getting disturbed. Why don't you stop that? And then he preached to Indra also like you be peaceful. Like why do you become so envious about another devotee like this? Personally the Lord came and he settled the matter between two devotees, right? So that's how the Lord is. The Lord actually desires the welfare of all the living entities. So if like these are all atheistic people who are envious of Vaishnavas, when they commit an offense, some different treatment is given. But a devotee who wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, if he commits an offense, the Lord treats it in a different way. Sometimes he personally gets involved and then he sorts out the issue and he ensures both of them actually progress in Krishna consciousness. So Lord works overtime, because हम ऐसा छोटा बच्चे जैसे इधर उधर कुछ प्रॉब्लम कर देते हैं, एंड देन माँ बाप को ये देखना पड़ता है कि खाली मार के ये करना, just simply beat the child and go is not the job of the parents. Aham bija pratap pita. He has taken the role of a father, and he has to ensure our yogakshemam. He has to ensure our well-being. So he comes and he ensures all these things is done. So that is why we should be very serious about the advancement in Krishna consciousness. If we can ensure this one thing, rest everything the Lord will take care. If we are serious practitioners, sincerely we want to advance in Krishna consciousness, even if we do the biggest of big mistakes, Krishna will personally come and ensure that we are taken out of the problem. But if we don't have desire for advancement in Krishna consciousness, so then Lord will put us through the general process. Paramatma hai, and like material nature hai, like उनका हिसाब से जो कानून है उसके हिसाब से चलेगा, life and things like that. So then that is little difficult, but then if we take shelter of the Lord and sincerely pray that I sincerely want to advance in Krishna consciousness, I want to attain your lotus feet, I want to come back to Godhead, please guide me, please help me, like that. So when we do that, so then Lord takes care, right time, right guidance actually comes to us.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just another question. Like you gave the example, Miss, you told that when we are in the spiritual world, we naturally have Krishna prem. So, but Prabhuji, here one question, that when Miss, in that situation, when you are having Krishna prem,
Don't answer that question. I don't know the answer. How did we fall down? So Abhishek Prabhu has a very wonderful lecture on that. ये 2-3 घंटे का हाथ raise करो भाई. He has a nice lecture on that. Very very convincing this one. वो 2-3 घंटा लगता है ना. कितना घंटा है वो? 2-3 घंटा लगता है उसका आंसर करने में. ठीक है, वो लेक्चर लेके सुन लीजिए. लॉजिकल, वेरी लॉजिकल साइंटिफिक एक्सप्लेनेशन इज देयर. ठीक है.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, आपने शक्ति के बारे में बताया और उससे बताया कि उससे बचने के लिए हम लोग को इंटरनल पोटेंसी ऑफ द लॉर्ड की सहारा लेना पड़ेगा.
माइक थोड़ा पास में रखिएगा.
तो हम लोग कैसे मतलब ले सकते हैं सहारा, इंटरनल पोटेंसी ऑफ द लॉर्ड?
So the process that is given to us, Panchanga Bhakti.
नवदा भक्ति एंड पंचांग. तो लॉर्ड का सहारा लेना या इंटरनल पोटेंसी का सहारा लेना, दीज आर नॉन
Same. Only through the service you can actually take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and the service is distributed by the internal potency of the Lord, right? So you cannot get service just like that. Right? So the service is distributed by the internal potency of the Lord, the Bhakti Shakti. So the process of chanting, until unless the Bhakti Devi or Srimati Radharani or Lakshmi Devi, they bestow mercy upon the living entity. So a person cannot perform devotional service.
प्रभु जी, अगर कोई ऐसा सोचे कि वो उसके सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर हो जाए कृष्ण कॉन्सेप्ट, और उसको ये भी पता है कि बाहर जाने में तो माया है, तो घर में बैठ के ही अगर कॉन्सेप्ट क्योंकि क्लियर है और वो अकेले में ही भगवान के साथ रेसिप्रोकेट करना चाहता है, मतलब नवदा भक्ति फॉलो करके,
अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि ना भवेद काह्यम इंद्रिय, तो खुद से नहीं हो पाएगा. सेवा उन्मुखे ही जीवादो स्वयं एवं स्फुरत्यते. सेवा करना चाहिए, सो जैसा भगवान ने बताया वैसे सेवा करना चाहिए. तो इन 64 अंगस ऑफ भक्ति, इफ यू सी that taking shelter of spiritual master and things like that are some preliminary things that are needed for like a person who is completely in the what is that, for the newcomer, beginner, neophyte. So there are cases where devotees advanced without spiritual master. So the Acharya's explanation is, at least in the previous life he would have taken spiritual master and he would have progressed to a good extent. Then उसके बाद में वो progress से अभी continue कर रहे हैं. So then sometimes you may see some exceptions. So but then for a person who is starting from the scratch, he requires this Purashcharya.
नहीं मतलब दीक्षा वगैरह ले लिया, सब इनिशियल स्टेज पार कर गया है. हाँ. ठीक है, उसके बाद
इतना क्या उसको इतना क्या नफरत है भक्तों का संग में. जाके संग तो ले सकता है ना. हाँ, संग अगर संग है ही नहीं है तो लेकिन आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो कर सकते हैं. बट संग है, मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, तो बैक टू गॉडेट जाके क्या करेंगे, बेटर इधर ही रहो, उधर जाके संग ही संग रहेगा। है ना, उधर जाके उधर भी मुझे एक अलग से कुटिया चाहिए उसमें बैठ भगवान बोले लाइक नो, सो इतना इम्पर्सनल तुम लाइक नो भौतिक दुनिया में जाके उधर ही रहो, है ना।
यस थैंक यू।
हरि बोल।
वहाँ से वापस भी नहीं आ सकते, वहाँ से वापस भी नहीं
नहीं, भगवान लेके ही नहीं जाएंगे ना इनको। हरि बोल।
Like Modi Trikarma Mahatma told like every step is like one asmet we have given. So as per that pastime of 100 asmet yaga, if one does 100,
You will become Indra, don't worry.
no, people are coming here and doing more than 100 only.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone who is coming in Mayapur on Dham, definitely will.
They become eligible for Swargapad. But one good news is if you stay and die in the Dham, no, there is good chance that you will go back to Godhead.
My only good things, what are the exceptions?
Bad chance is that you will become a what is that animal in this one Dham, and then in 1 or 2 lifetimes you will go back to Godhead. Good chances in the very same lifetime you will go back to Godhead. Huh? Consciousness is bad, then you will become an animal, monkey or a dog or something like that, and after that 1 or 2 lives or next life only, like game finished. स्टॉप ना, ठीक है, एक नहीं तब से पूछ रहा था लाइक मैं इनसे।
Bro, actually you are telling about that we should not suppress lust and love both. So miss, just I was asking because like the people who want to get just liberated like Brahmavadis or something, so like they will be staying in Brahma, so like their lust is also dormant and that gets triggered after some amount of time which passes, or is it
Yeah, it gets triggered.
or like one more thing was that like or is the Satchidanand is the soul is Satchidanand, so like is all the three are required in for us to go back to the spiritual
Yeah,
planet?
so that is Ananda component is also quite sufficient, quite important. So the first answer is like both this ones are there. The love of Godhead, that potency is there. It's very strong potency. उसको दबा के नहीं रख सकते ज़्यादा देर, है ना? So it has to either come in the form of the true love of Godhead and entrance into the spiritual world, but that is not possible by permutation and combination. That requires mercy of a devotee and the Supreme Lord. So on the lack of mercy of the devotee and the Supreme Lord, anadarato ishmadangreya, so then what happens? It actually comes out in a easy way. No, the vent which can actually, it can blast out through. No, that is the sense gratification. So he comes down, no, to the material world. So Brahman में ज़्यादा दिन टिक नहीं पाएंगे कि ये प्रेशर को लेके कैसे टिकेगा वो, नहीं पाएंगे।
And in Brahman actually only Sat is there or Satchi?
सत,
Sat.
ठीक है। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, हरे कृष्ण।